Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Jeremy Uncensored. Happy Sunday. I will say it's a beautiful Sunday here. A little windy, but that's to be expected, I believe, in North Dakota anymore. But sun's out, clear skies from what I can tell, and again, beautiful day. Hope everybody had a great week last week. I had a long week, even though it was a short week of work. Sometimes those short weeks feels like the longest, but just a long week with volleyball and things like that. My youngest daughter plays volleyball, so a couple games, actually one game and then one tournament. So Saturday we had that, and then once we got back, we ended up going back into town, going to the circus. So I had a long day yesterday, but I will say I slept good last night because I was tired. So, but happy Sunday. Hope everybody, again, had a great week last week, and hope you're enjoying your Sunday and whatever it is that you do. And so let's just jump right into it. Today I was going to talk a little bit about us as parents and dealing with our children being in sports. The reason I like to bring that up is I am a big sports guy. I played basketball in high school. I pretty much played basketball my whole life. I played a little bit of baseball, but I mean, really, when I picked up a basketball, I ran with that sport. So I watch it, I study it, and I mean, it just makes me the big basketball guy. Yes, as a father, I would love for my kids that's my sport too, but I'm not going to push it on them. And I've always said I would never do that. Both girls play volleyball. My youngest also plays basketball. That's the one sport I feel like I can help her with, because, I mean, besides playing, at the park with friends or things like that, I never played volleyball. So, I don't know all the terminology behind it, so and that's fine, because they've got excellent coaches that teach them everything they need to know, and whatever they need help with, hopefully we can just go out here in the yard. I can help them, but they also help each other by practicing, so that's good. My oldest daughter came to me at the beginning of school year and said that she didn't want to play basketball this year, and I'm totally fine with that. And she was kind of hesitant though to tell me, because she felt like I would be disappointed, because again, I'm a basketball guy. But I told her that that's not the case. I would never be disappointed of you choosing a sport that you don't want to play, just because I played it. I mean, I'm not like that. I would never be like that. So she says she wants to work on volleyball and things like that. So my question to her was, well, if I, get camps or, whatnot, would you be willing to do that? And of course she said yes. So, and that's where, as far as being a parent goes, it does kind of get tough, because nowadays these camps are not cheap. They're expensive. But in the end, is it worth it? For the most part, yes, because it's a continuing, they're not just playing, however long their season is at school, but it's a continuing thing, so they continue to practice and, develop their skill. So I have nothing against it. But yeah, it is expensive stuff out there, basketball being the same way. But, I told them both, if, you want to do camps and things, we can find them. I've got neighbors who let me know about stuff in the surrounding area, so that's cool too, and that we can always look into. And if you want to do it, let's do it. And so they are in agreement with that, and again, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to push my sport or whichever one that I love onto them, and I had to reassure them not to be feel like that, oh man, dad's going to be disappointed, because I'm not like that. I'm not going to be like that. But when we go to sporting events, they'll watch basketball. Like, a couple weeks ago, we went to the Harlem Globetrotters. I went when I was a kid, and I wanted to take them. They both loved it. I was thinking that my oldest daughter may not like it because it was basketball. But no, she actually had a fantastic time. And yes, I understand it's a different kind of basketball, but it's still nonetheless. I didn't want her to think that, oh, he brought me to a basketball game, because she'll watch it periodically, and a lot of stuff live instead of like sitting on the couch watching TV. It comes off different. Like me, I'm a big Cincinnati Reds fan, so I do like baseball. I'm more apt though to watch it live at the stadium rather than sit on the couch and watch 9 innings. It's not that I find it boring. It's just that I'm like, oh, I'm at home. I can do other things, so I will have the game on in the background while I do whatever. But I do have a lot more fun at the actual park for the game. Um, but again, we went to this. She had a great time, and I told her that while it's comedy, I mean, there were some still pretty cool looking, shots, and I mean, the game itself, it was just fun, and I was just so glad I was able to take them to it. When I often think a lot of times though when we go to our kids events, there's a certain way we need to act. We're there to support not only our child. I feel like though we're there to support their whole entire team. So when I go to a volleyball game, um, right now my youngest daughter's playing, but even when my oldest played earlier in the year, when I went to these games, I wasn't there just to cheer on my kid. I wasn't there to just, get lost in my thought and go, I hope my kid does good and could care less about everybody else. No. When I went, I was there to cheer on the entire team. I was not just there to cheer my kid on. I was there to cheer every one of those young women on and play their hearts out. Also praying that nobody gets hurt. Good sportsmanship. As I tell my kids, win or lose, you need to have good sportsmanship, because you can be a sore winner, you can be a sore loser. And I don't want either of those things for you guys. So if you lose, you shake their hands, or however it is that you do it, and you tell them, great game, good job, and you mean it, not just to say it, and not just to say it with some sorry look on your face. Like, people win, people lose. It's the whole thing. One team wins, one team loses. And it's okay, because I'm not looking at how you act when you win unless you're gloating. And then we're going to put a stop to that. I'm looking at how you act when you lose and how you handle that, right? Some people hang their heads. I tell mine what my basketball coach in high school told me. We never stay too high on a win, and we never dwell on a loss. So it happened. Take a moment and go, what could we have done, or what could I have done differently? And then you apply it. Then that's it. You go on. Even in a win, you can actually look back and go, man, I might have messed up here or there. I used to do that to myself in basketball all the time. Didn't care if we won. I don't care if we win by 20. I would always go back and critique myself and be like, yeah, you know what? I missed a pass there. I took an ill-advised jump shot here. I, did too much dribbling there and caused the turnover, whatever. But on the scoreboard, it never was the opposite team versus me. It was the opposite team versus our team. And so we won, and this is what I tell my kids too. You win as a team, you lose as a team. Bottom line. As parents, though, I feel like sometimes we can take it overboard. If you haven't checked out the sports podcast that I do with my friend, Michael, we started a thing at the end, it's called Rational Rants. And I was lucky enough to be the first one to do the first Rational Rant, and it was on parents and sports. And somebody came to me, they were like, we liked it, and could you elaborate on it though? And I thought, that's going to be more for my own channel. The thing that I hit on, to recap on that, was when we go to games, you sit in the stands, bleachers, whatever, a lawn chair if you're at a baseball game. You sit there and you cheer and you encourage. You don't have to sit there and boo every time the referee makes a bad call or misses a call. You don't have to, I mean, you can question it. We all do that, but we don't yell it out, or we shouldn't, I guess, yell it out in a way that you come off like, confrontational. I, I mean, I ref, and so I know I've missed a few calls, and I know there's a lot of calls that some people don't. Actually, I don't care because it's what we see out on the court, right? Everybody's a ref in the stands. Everybody's a critic in the stands, right? So, but you show up and you're there to cheer the team on. Yes, I understand you want your kid to do great. I get it. But you're there to cheer the whole team on. Like, I want all of them to do great. Yesterday, like I said, for a few hours, I was at a volleyball tournament. And I wasn't there just to cheer on my youngest daughter, Chloe. I was there to cheer on her entire sixth grade team. All of them. I think there's like 14 or 15 girls. I was there to cheer them all on. And I did. Clapped and everything. Keep your head up. Whatever, right? I was also there because in between games, the fifth graders played. I was there to cheer them on too, and I can't remember how many there are there. I think there's like 20-something girls that play on that fifth grade team, and they all, fifth and sixth grade, did phenomenal, okay? They played hard. I mean, they kept their heads up. They gave each other high fives if there was a mistake. They were telling each other to keep their heads up. Hey, it's okay. And I be honest with you, that's what I'm like most proud of, is to see not only my daughter but other kids react the same way. Because you do have those some that point and go, you messed this up, or this was your fault. No, you don't need to do that, right? And as parents, when they come off the court, you don't need to sit there and go, well, yeah, you lost, but it wasn't your fault. It was such and such fault. And I'm only saying that because I am sure somewhere out there, okay, that has been done or is being done. And I can tell you right now, that's totally wrong. Wrong way to do it. You don't sit there and tell them, you lost, but don't worry, it's not your fault. It was this person's fault. This person's kid's fault. Or that kid. Okay? No, you don't do that because that is just silly. And me, it's bad. It's bad teaching when it comes to sports. And then you're going to make your kid uncoachable. And unfortunately, that goes on a lot. Okay? Because if you're uncoachable, 9 times out of 10, that's going to make you unhireable as an adult when you get older. Because you don't want to listen. Coaches are there. They're going to criticize. They're going to say, hey, you need to do this. Hey, we need to do that. Today's world, it just seems like these kids are just like, I've already signed a Nike deal. I don't need to listen to you. Right? No, that's bogus and that's crap. Because you're not the greatest player. You're not Michael Jordan. You're not Kobe Bryant, or, as far as volleyball, forgive me, I don't know a lot of volleyball players, like popular volleyball players, but, you're not those people. Can you get there? Absolutely. You can get there. It's called practice and hard work, but don't act like at 12, 13, 14 years old that you're already there, because you're not. And that has to come back to the parents, though, a little bit, because if we make excuses for our kids, then that's all they're ever going to look for as they get older. They just want to look for an excuse. Well, it wasn't my fault, it was theirs. I got fired because the boss didn't like me. Come on. Maybe you got fired because you didn't show up to work, right? It happens. I was a manager at a grocery store for numerous years. I fired plenty of people. I didn't take joy in it, but it had to be done, because if you wasn't coming to work, I didn't need you on my payroll. I needed somebody who was going to show up to work and work. Bottom line. Um, as far as our children goes, I tell my kids this too, like when it comes to playing time. I'll never be the one to email, go talk to your coach about why aren't you playing a lot, right? I grew up and I played where you had to earn your playing time. If you show up practice and you're goofing off, you probably weren't going to play much. It's just the way it is. My high school team, albeit it was a private school, we didn't have a set starting five. Due to the fact that our basketball coach told us that if you show up to practice and you're lollygagging, or maybe even, God forbid, being academically uneligible, you don't start. If you miss 2 or 3 practices in a week or whatever, if not for something valid, you're not going to start. Nowadays, I hear kids going to practice and coaches will look over and they're on their cell phones. What? So there you're on your cell phone lollygagging around and you're not listening to the coach, or you're not watching plays or certain drills that are being done because you're over there texting somebody that 9 times out of 10 it can wait till the end of practice due to the fact you're probably texting your friend on what they're wearing tomorrow to school. Yeah, not a fan. Wouldn't be a fan. And again, some parents, they go to bat for that. Why? Practice is practice, guys. You go to practice to get better. You don't go to practice because you have another hour and a half, 2 hours, or however long it is that your kid may have to practice to socialize with their friends. I mean, you're doing that for 7.5 to 8 hours a day anyway. You can do that after practice as well. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, seriously. I don't make excuses for my kids, though. There is a difference. Because I will say this, some people will push back and say, well, if I talk to their coaches about their playing time or whatnot, I'm only doing it because I'm fighting for my kids. Look, to me, there is a fine line between fighting for your kid and you're fighting to do it for yourself, right? Because unfortunately, there are parents with kids that sit back and cast judgment, right? That kid's not as athletic as my kid. That kid's not as good as my kid. That kid can't swing a bat like my kid. That kid can't shoot a jump shot like my kid, so my kids should play, if they play 8-minute quarters, they should play 32 minutes, right? That kid can't serve like my kid, so my kid should be in the volleyball game from start to finish. Okay. Yeah. Piss off is all I got to tell you on that. I mean, that's where this uncensored part comes in. Because you're teaching them that is the wrong kind of teaching, is the wrong kind of parenting, right? Then they're going to take that and they're going to go out in the world and then they're going to find out the hard way that, that sucks. Because I'm not sitting up there worried about neither one of my girls while they're not playing to make me look good or look better or whatever the case may be, right? Not doing it. If they go maybe a game or 2 games or whatever and they don't play, there's a right way and a wrong way to handle it. There's a right way to ask and talk to the coaches, and there's a wrong way to ask and talk to the coaches. If you go in guns blazing, basically saying that your kids should be playing and you're ticked off because they're not, yada, 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 but you don't find out the other side of that, well, then you just made yourself look like a dumb nut. You can go in and ask, are they goofing off? Is there something up with school? Anything as to why. Is there something we need to work on? Maybe they got a bad attitude. That could be it. I mean, it happens. But just to go in and just start yelling at coaches or emailing coaches and saying that they should be playing and why not, you get to the point where you don't think, excuse me, you really don't think you're doing it for your kid as much as you're doing it for yourself. So therefore, you really got to watch it, because then you're sending off bad signals and sending bad messages, right? Right way, wrong way. Just remember, step back and analyze it. Just stand back a little bit, analyze the situation, and say, okay, what's the deal? Maybe talk to your kid first. Maybe they're like hiding something from you. I mean, I've known coaches to say you need to go home and tell your parents that, you were on your cell phone the entire time for practice today. So therefore, the next game, you're not playing as much, if any. But you're required to be at the game. But you need to go ahead and tell them. And maybe kids are kids. They don't want to get in trouble, so they may not tell you. And then you're going to find out from the coach, like, this is the reason why. So just take a step back. And, okay, this isn't directed at anybody. This is a topic that I just want to talk about. Because like I said, though, unfortunately, this stuff happens somewhere. It does. And when you go to the games, don't act like you're going to fight the other team coach or the other team's players. That's something that I hit on the sports channel that I do. Because that did happen, and there's videos on YouTube about it. You can go and look it up. Unfortunately, it happened in my home state. Okay? It's the unfortunate thing. And it was a basketball game, and some parents rushed to court after the other basketball team. Right? Sit down. Don't act like you're going to attack a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old. Come on. All right? Basketball is a contact sport. Kid took a screen, and he went down. Boo-hoo. Get up. You're okay. Right? One of the fathers got tased center court, and he should have. I couldn't begrudge the person who did it one bit. I was like, no, that should be done. And I feel like if you do that, if you get on the court and or act like you're going to fight a ref, or you're going after the other team's coach for whatever reason, and the players, whatnot, you should be banned from that team sporting event. I'm not talking just the rest of that year. If your kid's a freshman in high school, no, you're done. That's just my thought. Some people might say it's overboard. You can hit me up in the comment section and think, well, maybe they should sit out the freshman year. Or if it's 1 year, that would be the rest of their freshman year and part of their sophomore year. Then you give them another chance. Maybe. So hit me in the comment section and see what you think about that. I do think that, if we tell our kids, certain actions have consequences, then for adults it has to be the same thing. Because we have to be held accountable and in check too, right? So go to these events. Go to your kids' games. Cheer them on. Be the loudest parent in the flipping gym. That is perfectly okay. Might embarrass your kid a little bit, but that's okay. You're their big supporter. You can explain to them, I'm your number one fan for a reason. You might embarrass the other kids too. Actually, they may find it funny. They may laugh about it. And you can cheer for them just as loud, right? If you're your kids' friends, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. I mean, we're there to cheer and support, right? Not be corpses sitting in the stands and just, yeah, good job, whatever. No, have fun with it, because you're going to blink, okay, and they're going to be done with that, and they're going to be off to college, and then they're going to blink again, and hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I met Jimmy, and we're getting married, yay. It's true, because you will blink and all this will happen, so enjoy it while it lasts, is what I'm saying. As far as their sporting events go, I don't care what they play. Basketball, volleyball, baseball, pickleball, track and field, it doesn't matter. Enjoy it. Just don't go overboard with it. I tell my kids too, certain ways that you act on the court, like in basketball, you will become or be known as a dirty player. Everybody will pick up on it. Well, let's not be some of those parents when you walk in, they're here. Dang it. No, don't do that. Okay? You don't have to ruin it for you and for everybody else. You can stand up for your kid. Again, there's just a right way and a wrong way to do it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Take some steps back and analyze it. Get all the facts. Get all the details. Moving on, there was some stuff that I was thinking about also hitting on today, and one of those things is not only just the sports, but the other thing I should say is how we need to let our kids handle some of their problems. If your kid, and this is the way I look at it with mine, if your kid has a disagreement with a friend, right? Let's just say that. Something mild. Sorry, I guess I cut my hand and didn't realize it. I have a disagreement with a friend, whatever it may be. We don't need, as parents, just to rush in and try to fix it. We need to take a couple steps back and let them handle it. I can honestly say I've never once. My oldest daughter's 13. My youngest daughter actually turns 12 in 2 weeks. Not one time have I jumped into a situation that they had where they had an issue with a friend. I let them handle it. And the reason I let them handle it is because I don't want them thinking that dad is going to come to the rescue on every little problem and try to fix it. Because it could make it worse if not careful. And I understand as parents we do want to go into it and we want our kids to be happy. Maybe we want our kids to be liked, loved, I don't know, whatever it is, however it is that you feel about your kids. Yeah, I want my kids to be liked. I don't want them to be liked for the, just for the reason to be liked. I want a reason for them to be liked. Maybe they're nice, they're respectful. That I'm good with. Not because, oh, well, your mom and dad have a pretty cool house and a cool vehicle, so we're going to hang out with you. Now, come on. Not that. I want them to be liked because they're nice kids, okay? Not for any, materialistic things that they may have or whatnot, or may not have. Because, let's get real here. If you're going to like somebody or not like somebody for that, I tell my kids all the time, you don't need that type of person in your life. And you don't need the type of person that's going to lie on you in your life. You don't need it. And I know my oldest daughter and I had that discussion, and then it actually happened. I stood back and I let her handle it. That's what I did. I let her handle it. I thought she handled it very well. The reason I don't jump into it is, again, I can make it worse, because if I go into it in full dad mode, then I'm going to come off looking like the a-hole, and then I've got to take a step. If I decide to take a step back after I'm done handling it, quote unquote, then I got to go, I handled that all wrong. And I made that 10 times worse than it was. So I let my girls handle their situations when it comes to their friends. I'm not going to put bubble wrap around them, and I'm not going to sit there and jump in and go, okay, I'll fix this, and then that be done. No, they can handle it themselves, because I think that is important for them to do, because it's part of the importance in their growing, okay? Sure, we could probably fix things, and yeah, we could probably help out, but are we? I'd step out, I let them handle it. Now, if it gets to the point where it's really out of hand, and maybe even the other parent gets involved for whatever reason, then I might say, okay, it's time for me to tag me in and let me talk, let me handle some situations. I always tell my kids too, your wording is with your delivery comes out. Get down, my cat. Sorry. That's why I really don't edit, because you just never know what's going to happen on here. She's just lost her mind apparently. But I'm not going to sit there and jump in and say I'm going to handle this. I want them to, and they do a good job at it, because they'll come to me and they'll say, well, this and this happened, and they'll come back to me and say, okay, we talked it out, and then Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe it was they believed somebody that said something, or whatever the case may be. So, I let them handle it, and they do a great job at it. And I do what I was getting on before my cat did what she did. I tell them, choose your wording. Take a moment, take a breath, think about it. You don't need to come off with well, this was just stupid and it was your fault. No, you need to think about it. Your delivery means a lot. Your wording means a lot. So just take the time, think about it, breathe, and then go. Okay? You don't have to, again, I like using the phrase, you don't have to go in guns blazing. So, parents, again, you can hit me up in the comments and see if I'm right or wrong, or if I should look at it differently. I'm going to pose a question, do you jump in and handle all your kids' problems? Whether it's a situation with their friends. I mean, a situation with the teachers differently, because that does require an adult touch, because, we want our kids, at least I hope we all do, we all want our kids to succeed at school. I don't want to see my kids getting F's. And they don't. And when their grades start slipping, I do find out why. And then, okay, how do I need to handle it? Do I need to take phones away? Do I need to take an iPad away? Do I need to, what do we need to do? Especially like if it's a test and you just choose not to study it, and then I'm like, all right, you didn't study because you decided to play a game on your phone with your friends, and then you flunked your test. So now I got to take this stuff away for a couple of weeks, because I don't care if I make them mad if I take their stuff. My oldest gets mad at me all the time when I take it, but I don't care. Okay, she can be mad at me. It's for her own good. She comes around, she understands it, but it's always that first initial, like that first 24-hour period where they're just like, you took my phone away, how dare you? Well, you'll get over it in a week to 10 days. Because you didn't study a test. You chose not to study for this test, and then you failed it. Or you chose not to do your homework, and you got a 0, or whatever the case may be. However they do it now. I used to just get 0s, and that was the end of it. I think now they actually get more time to turn it in, and okay, but you still got consequences at home, and this is what it'll be. I mean, I'm going to go after the first thing that I know that's going to hit home. And unfortunately, nowadays, that is that tablet, that is that phone, okay, or a TV. If you have that's for my daughters. Now, if you have a son, maybe it's an Xbox, maybe it's a PS5, phone, tablet. I mean, maybe they can't play in a sport. Like, you're grounded for a week, and maybe they didn't take it away at school, but we're going to take it away here. You're not going to go play in that game. Some parents do that. And I think it's important that the kids learn, because we want them to choose and be able to choose, right from wrong. And I'll give you a little thing. My kids actually came to me. It's been a little while, but they came to me and they said, Dad, we're not saying we would ever do this, but what would you do if we still lived at home and we went to a party? They were talking about like they were 18, 19, 20 years old. We went to a party, but we still lived at home. We got drunk and we drove. Like, we drove home. And you found out. I told them. I didn't even hesitate. I was like, okay, well, here's exactly what I would do. Number one, if by chance you get pulled over by the cops, if you get one phone call, you call me, because you need to tell me where you're at. But you're staying the night in jail. You're going to say right there, I'm not coming to get you. That's number one. And like, don't call anybody that you think may bail you out, because I will put the word out real quick. Nobody is to go bail you guys out. Okay? I don't know if that's still the thing where you get one phone call, but if it is, you have to call me. And you got to tell me where you're at, just so I know where you're at. But you're going to spend the night. depending on what you blow in that breathalyzer or how bad you failed that field sobriety test, there's also going to be consequences at the house. They may not take your license, but Big Dad will. So I will take your license for the foreseeable future until you can prove to me that you're mature enough to have them. And I even went a step further, and I mean this. I'm going to sell your car. I don't care if I bought it. I don't care if you bought it. I don't care if it was a combination of where, hey, you save up your money and I match it. It'll be sold. And then if you have a job, you will either need to utilize, Uber or Lyft or whatever. Or if you don't want to pay that amount of money in tips, because you need to tip your driver if you don't do that, I will take you to work, but you're going to pay me gas money. That's all I'll charge you, is just the gas money. And when they came, after we talked about it, and they looked at me and they were like, you would really do all that? And I said, yes. And I said, here's the reason why. I would rather you be ticked off at me for taking your license, having to take you to work or take you to school, and pick you up from work and school, and you give me gas money, and be mad at me because I sold your car because you proved to me that you are not mature enough to have this little plastic piece with your picture on it and to drive a vehicle, rather than you having to go through life knowing that you drank and you drove and you killed a family of 4. I'm like, really? Is that what you want to do? After a while, they were talking to me more about it, and they said, well, we just want you to know, we're not saying we would ever do that. We were just like, we just wanted your, what you would do, your input on what you would do. And I said, that's exactly what I would do. And I wouldn't hesitate. Wouldn't hesitate at all. I was like, and I told him, I'm like, you can probably look it up at how many drunk drivers get in wrecks. They live, but the person they hit with their car dies. I was like, now, do you really want to live with that? Of course, both of them it was a unanimous no. And I said, good. So don't do that. Number one, and I told him, if you're, 18, 19, 20, you're still underage. And that's going to be a big punishment as well. But I'm like, now, 21 or older, I said, you're legal age. But you need to know that if you drink, I don't care if you drink 1, 2, or 3, don't drive. I'd much rather you call me at 3 in the morning. Dad, I was at a party, drink too much, I'm a little lightheaded, I may be buzzed. Can you come pick me up? I will come pick you up. I may not be the happiest camper because it's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning and you woke me up. I may not be the happiest camper, but I will come and pick you up. I will get over that too, just for the simple fact that I will look at that you made a mature decision. The next step is going to be, like, if you do go to these parties and you drink, you really need to figure out how much you can handle. Okay? Really don't want y'all getting drunk. So after that discussion, I think it's hit home. Now, I got to be prepared because this discussion now has happened at their age now. What do a lot of kids do in 7 or 8 years? They forget. I'm going to remind them. When that first car gets bought, there will be the reminder. When they come in and they say, I passed my driver's test, I got my driver's license, they're going to be reminded real quick, right? Because even outside of the drinking part, if you get out here and you decide that you want to be immature with the vehicle, it'll be gone. Okay? I have no problem in doing that whatsoever. None at all. And again, I'd rather you be mad at me than having to live with the fact that you got out here and you were goofing off, you drinking and driving and killed a family of 4, or you're just goofing off in general in your vehicle thinking you'd be funny and you wrecked and you hurt, or you, God forbid, possibly killed the passenger in the vehicle, which is maybe your friend or your boyfriend. So, something to think about. Some might say it's a little overboard, maybe it's a little overkill, but guess what? I don't care, because that's just how I'm going to handle it, right? And again, we all parent different. We all handle it different. How would you handle it? Leave that in the comments. How would you handle it? I like the interaction. First episode, there was several interaction with the comments, and I really appreciate it. So with that being said, I am going to go into the final thought. Okay. The final thought for today is just directed at, again, like the last final thought from the last episode. If you hadn't watched it, go to YouTube at Jeremy Uncensored. Click subscribe. Really appreciate it, guys. And watch it, check it out, see what you think. The final thought for today's episode is for parents and our past. Do not let your past define who you are. I don't care that you might have been addicted to drugs or alcohol or whatever. Don't let that define you as who you are today. If you did all that in the past, but you went to rehab, you recovered and you're busting your hump, and you got a job, maybe you had kids, you had to work on getting them back, you got them back, all that, you have succeeded, and damn it, I am proud of you. Okay, you didn't need to hear that from me, but I'm telling you, I am proud of you, because you didn't give up and you didn't let that defeat you. No, you gave it the big middle finger and you said, that's not happening. I'm going to get better. I'm going to recover. I'm going to get my kids back. I'm going to get a job. I'm getting a house, yada, yada, yada. And you did it. Or you're working at it. Keep your head up. Stay around people that are encouraging, that's got your back, not the ones that want you to slip and fall so they can be like, ha, ha, ha. No. Piss off. You do not need that type of negativity in your life. It's like people that don't like biscuits and gravy. You don't need that type of negativity in your life. I promise you. Promise you. Because biscuits and gravy are all good. Don't care what anybody says. But I want to sit here and tell you that I've got you back. You can reach out in the comment section or, send me a message. I post reels all the time. You can send me a message on Facebook. I'd love, if you need a vent, rant, rave, whatever, I'd love to hear it, and there's no judgment from me. I am not here to judge. I am strictly just wanting to let you know that, number one, you're probably not the only one. In fact, you're not the only one. Everybody has problems in some form or fashion. Let me tell you something. I've seen it scrolling through on Facebook, people who had that problem and they defeated it, or they're still battling it, but they're there. And those are the posts that, man, I love seeing, that their life is so much better. I'm a religious guy. I believe in God. I'm not ever going to just shove that in people's face or down their throat, because I understand some people don't. I do. I pray. I should pray every day. Do I pray every day? I don't pray every day. That's on me. That's something that, I got to do better at. But I see these posts that people, God had my back, and by the grace of God, I recovered from whatever it is. Those are the posts that I love to see. Of course, you have to scroll through 25 stupid political posts to get there, but you finally find one. Okay, you finally see an encouraging post. But I digress. So, proud of you. Keep up the hard work. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you failed or you're failing, whatever, because it sounds like you're seeing this stuff. You had a problem, admitted you had a problem, and you fixed it, or you're in the process of fixing it. Damn proud of you. And I wish you nothing but the best. Nothing but it's all uphill. Just go at it. And keep up the hard work. Again, you might have to eliminate some friends that are still a part of that life. You can still be encouraging, but maybe not hang out with them as much. That's kind of tough for some people. For others, it might be really easy. So, again, in this, proud of you. Keep up the hard work. And if you have kids, they're proud of you too. I will guarantee that they're proud of you too, and you're going to have family members that are proud of you. So, I'll end that. have a great week. Tomorrow's Monday and everybody dreads it. Have a great week. If you haven't already, if you don't care, please go to YouTube at Jeremy Uncensored. Click subscribe. Again, I'm going to try to post 1, 2, maybe 3 of these a week. Hit me up in the comment section. A little feedback. Again, I like the interaction. I like seeing the way other people see things. Maybe it's a way I haven't seen it, and I like seeing it that way, and then I can think about it, right? Or we can have dialogue and say, maybe we agree to disagree, or maybe we end up agreeing, or whatever the case may be. But hit me up. I enjoy that stuff, and so we'll go from there. Have a great week. Have a blessed week, and God bless you all.